Hello everyone, good evening. Please confirm if my voice is clear and audible. We'll start the session in a couple of minutes. Thanks for joining. We'll start the session in a couple of minutes. Thanks for the confirmation. Good evening. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's get started. First of all, I need to thank you for joining the session on Sunday evening. So welcome to KSR Data Vision. So in this session, we'll discuss about the course, which is one of the hot skill in current market, which is full stack Power BI with Power Platform. Now, there are few people who are saying that we have learned Power BI, but we are not getting calls. Well, of course, nowadays companies are looking for multi skill and multi technologies. Now, here we have come up with a special course by researching with the most of the companies, working with the clients. All our experts who are working in the organization have come up with 4 tools that can be a odd skill currently in the market. So if you learn all these 4 technologies, you need not learn any other skill for next 10 years. That I can promise you. To start with, we will learn what is Power BI, then Microsoft Azure, then moving on, what is this Power Apps and Power Automate. Now, as a component of these 4, we will call them as full stack Power BI with Power Platform. Now, in this session, very glad to talk on each and every tool that we are going to learn, and I'm going to discuss why you need this. What is the purpose of knowing this technologies? Well, that will be the agenda, and I'll be walking on visualization analogy. Why visualization is very important for the current market to understand the business, and then we'll move on to Power BI. Why we need to learn Power BI? There are many other tools currently in the market, but what is the reason that we have to learn Power BI? Followed by Azure, Power Apps, Power Automate. Now, this will be the agenda that we are going to discuss in today's session. Well, just listen carefully. Everything what is being told will some or the other way will benefit you. So listen carefully and still watch till the end. Now, to start with, assume that this is a simple table which is an Amazon table. Well, Amazon has maintained January to December. What is the sales or revenue? Well, it's just an e-commerce example which I'm giving. Assume that you purchase a smartphone for 10,000. 10,000 becomes sales. Well, the profit they generate maybe 1K or 2K, that becomes revenue. Now, these are the 2 columns which we have in the table. Now, just listen carefully. What if I ask you 4 questions? Listen to the questions. Which month is making maximum sales? Which month is making minimum sales? Which month is making maximum revenue? Which month is making minimum revenue? Now, if I ask you these 4 questions, the first thing what you'll do is you'll start understanding row by row. You'll go with each and every record. You'll go record by record. And finally, you will see it. Well, the highest sales is coming from this, and the lowest sales is coming from this. and the highest revenue is coming from this, the lowest revenue is coming from this. Well, this is what you would have told me, but you would have taken minimum of 20-25 seconds to answer these questions. Now, when the data is getting generated at a very high level, do you think you can go and do an analysis in this Excel? Definitely no. You need to start improving your system. Well, the way I will improve my system is just follow this. The entire table I'll convert into a visual like this. Now, this is a beautiful chart that client is looking for because see carefully, the right side of your screen, it not only gives you a clarity of 4 questions, but it also try to solve the other few insights. Well, we'll see this. Imagine the green is for sales, gray is for revenue. Automatically, you can see the peak is coming from 2 months, February, March, and the peak is down in the month of December. Now I have answered all my 4 questions. Which month is giving me maximum sales? Which month is giving minimum sales? Which is giving maximum revenue? Which is giving minimum revenue? I was able to answer. Well, I took 20-25 seconds to answer the same question in the left table, whereas I've taken less than 5 seconds to answer that in the right table. Well, not only this, apart from this, I can also understand that the peak is coming in the month of January, February, March. It is start of the year. Well, at the end of the year, the sales and revenue is going down, and in the mid of the year, the sales and revenue is stable. Now, in fact, when I ask the question, you start working on only the 4 questions. But what I can do in this chart, not only answering the 4 questions, I can also come up with certain analysis. Well, clearly from the picture, I'm getting to know that year end the sales is going down. Why don't we give some offers, discounts, cashbacks, 0% EMI? Why don't I give this? Well, that can improve the business. Well, do you think this insights I was able to guess it from my chart one? Definitely no. The more and more I analyze, the more and more I see the graph, I'll get the clarity. And every client from every projects are nowadays asking the data to be visualized in charts. The reason, your charts can give a better clarity. It can make you understand. You can make some decisions. Well, that's the objective of this visualization. And now, without visualization, you have to still go and manually calculate what is the total sales revenue, how much is getting generated by each product, each person, each customer, each month. So your life is going to be very challenging. Initially, 10 years back, 20 years back, we were not worried that much because, well, the data was not getting generated in a huge manner. But what is happening now? Now, every day, the way you use smartphones, applications, internet, the data is getting generated and it is increasing in a exponential manner. Well, in that manner, you have to find a solution to visualize the data. Well, for that, we do have beautiful tool which we are going to learn. Now, with visualization, you can convert your data into charts, cards, which makes you a better decision making. And not only that, now once you create this reports, you can view it from your smartphone, tablet, or even in your website, which makes your data understanding very clean. Now that's the purpose of visualization. And one good thing about visualization is, and especially the tools which you're using is, it requires no coding. Without coding, you can achieve it. Now you may ask me why this visualizations is very important. Well, every business in this world are working hard for generating revenue. No company is working for free. Every company starting from Google, until a startup. In fact, even if you ask me, we are also working for revenue. We are also working for profit. So definitely everyone works for profit. Everyone works for revenue. So the objective of the company is to make some good decisions which can improve your business. Well, that's the objective. For that, your visualization is like a key because you're not spending that much time on sitting and writing a code or doing a manual calculation. If you're doing all that, when you'll have time to think about your business? Well, if you're running a business, the strategies, ideas are really important. Well, what now we can tell is there are certain tools which are telling us, boss, we'll take everything. We'll take care of everything. You just think about your business. And that's why visualization has created an impact in current market. It will help us to target the right people at the right time by the right amount to generate the right amount of profit. Well, that's the objective of visualization. Now, the entire report which you're seeing, remember one thing, it is implemented without writing a single line of code. Well, I'm not sure how many of you have asked suggestion for your seniors. Well, if I want to enter an IT company, what is a prerequisite which I need to know it? Well, there is a myth. People say that, okay, you're coming out of your education, whether it's a post graduation, engineering, MBA, first try to learn a coding, learn programming. Well, I'm saying the opposite way. No need of learning any coding, programming. You can still manage to grab a very good opportunity in IT. Well, that's why we have certain tools which require some creative ideas, designs, and you can do it without writing a single line of code. Well, the future is also like that. Well, if you think about 30 years back, if you want to implement any logic, you should have written around 1,000 lines of code. Now, 20 years back, this 1,000 lines of code become 500 lines of code. And now 10 years back, this 500 has become 250. And now the same functionality which was written for 10,000 lines or 1,000 lines now can be brought down to 50 or 40 lines. Now you yourself understand what is happening. Every decade, the number of lines you're writing to implement a logic is getting shorter and shorter. Of course, it is expected in future everything can be brought down to drag and drop. That is what we are going to do now, right? Now, to get more clarity, we'll talk about business intelligence. Well, I was talking about Power BI. Well, Power BI, we need to know what is BI first. Why BI is business intelligence. Now, what is this business intelligence? Just break the word business intelligence. Business is a word which I can say it's like an organization which they want to generate revenue. As a company, they want to grow. So, intelligence something which you are using your brain, using the data and giving some suggestions. Now, let's put together. Well, in the real time, data can come from different areas. One real time example I'll give you. In our case, we get a lot of inquiries. Okay, we do get like when did we start the course, what is the job guarantee, what is the fees, when are you taking the live sessions, where you're located. So we get a lot of questions. And you know what, all the questions is asked from different platforms. Some people ask in YouTube, some people ask in LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook, WhatsApp, call, normal message, Twitter. Now 8 sources of data we are getting. And do you think I'll concentrate only on YouTube? Definitely no. I need to bring all the data together. I need to see from where I'm getting the responses, who is asking the question from which platform, and then I need to go and respond. Well, my objective is collecting the data from different data sources is my first operation, which I'll be doing. Later, in some of the files, or some of the data which I'm receiving, the data may not be in a good format. The data may have some missing values. The data may have some abnormal checks. So all this will be there. Well, I need to bring everything into one specific format. That is where your data cleaning, data transformation comes into picture. Now, when I have the clean data, the next objective is, why don't you visualize it? And that is where you will be visualizing it. And do you think the job is done? No. Once you do the report, you need to show it to someone which is going to be a client. Well, stop. You keep on speaking. Right from data gathering, right from data transformations, data cleaning, Power BI reports, or any visualization reports, doing everything at one place. I will call it as business intelligence. Right from the requirement until you publish the report to the end users, you bring everything into one place, and that place where you're going to work, it's like a playground where you do everything which is called business intelligence. And finally, you give some suggestions to improve the business. Well, why the clients are hiring you? Do you think the clients have more money? That's why they're investing on you? No, they are not investing for you. They are investing for your brain because you need to give ideas to improve their business. That's where they are hiring you. If they are hiring you for 10 lakhs, that means the company has to generate a profit of 20 lakhs. That will be the objective. Everyone is working for a company because they give ideas to the clients. Now, all in one, I'll call business intelligence. Now, the next question, we'll talk about Power BI. We know about BI. Now, what is Power BI? Well, I was talking about BI where everything we can do it. Get the requirement, collect the data, put everything into one bucket, start doing the data cleaning, data transformations, and visualize a report. Well, all in all, your Power BI can also do exactly the same. It can collect the data, it can process the data, it can clean, it can transfer, it can visualize. Overall, I can say it's like an all-rounder which can do everything for you. That is what Power BI. Now, you may ask me a question. Well, you're talking about visualization and you're talking about Power BI. Well, is this the only tool which can convert your data into visualization? Now, if that is your question, I would say that there are another 30 tools currently in the market which can do exactly the same work what your Power BI can do. Now, all the tools which you're seeing on the screen, it will collect the data from different data sources, do the data cleaning, transformations, and report your visualization reports. Well, then your next question should be, hey, if this 30 tools can do the job for me, why are you teaching only Power BI? Why are you not teaching Tableau? Why are you not teaching SAP? Why are you not teaching MicroStrategy? Well, if this is a question that is hovering on your mind, well, I would like to give certain proof that Power BI is the best one. In order to talk about that, let me give the first proof why Power BI is the best. Well, there is a company called Gartner. Some of you know about this company, but I'll just try to give an high level what this company will do. The only work of this company, which is called Gartner, what they do is they compare tool with tool. Well, they compare Java with Python, they compare C with C++, they compare Power BI with every tool. So like this, the only work is comparison. Now, after comparing, they have given a graph. We need to figure out what is this graph. Well, I'll ask you blindly to imagine this is like a race. This is like start. This is like finish line. Now imagine 30 plus tools are running for a race. Okay. 30 tools are running for a race. Now, what is your thought is, well, when 30 tools are running for a race to touch the finish line, this is a 50% of race. And you can say that out of this 30 tools, 28 tools have not even touched the halfway mark. There are only two tools currently which is in the competition. One is Tableau, one is Power BI. Well, of course, from the last 4 years, Power BI is leading in the market with the first place. The way the tool has grown and the way the tool has been impacted, I would say Power BI is on top. Well, this is the first reason. Well, you need not believe me, but you can believe Gartner. The work of the Gartner is itself a only comparison. When if I am saying Power BI is the best, you need not believe, but you can believe the tool. You can believe the company. Well, that's the first reason I would say. Out of all the tools currently in the market, Power BI is on the top. Right? Now, the second reason which I would also like to give is history. Well, this is a very new tool. If I want to be mathematically correct, I would say it is just 7 years old. Your Power BI is just 7 years old. Well, when I say just 7 years, it is a very new tool. Well, most of the people doesn't even know what is Power BI. Now, in Google itself, I have many tools that I can use it for the presentation, for sharing the screen. I can use any number of applications that is available. But even today, even for this presentation, even for this live session, I am using Microsoft's PowerPoint presentation. There are n number of tools available in the market, but why am I using Power BI? I mean Microsoft's PowerPoint presentation. The reason is it's a Microsoft product. It's a Microsoft product. Well, Google is a brand. Facebook is a brand. Microsoft is also a brand. Even today, even for the presentation, if I am using PowerPoint presentation of Microsoft product, then that means the impact this Microsoft is created is that's its own brand. The brand is something which can never be changed. Well, there are thousands of companies which are using Power BI on a daily basis, but I have just handpicked few. Don't assume that these are the only company. No, these are the companies which I like. That's why I've given. But I would say there are thousands of companies who are using Power BI at a full stretch. Right? Now, this is the second reason. Very new tool, just 7 years old. Branded tools product. That is Microsoft product. And there are so many companies which are using. Now, the third one I would say is, before I jump on the third one, if you see this, the entire report is built in Power BI. The way that you see the data in the Excel sheet or a CSV format, compared to that, see how the data is being visualized here. Well, one promise right away I can make you is, in the next 30 days, you will be able to build this report single-handedly without anyone's help. That's my responsibility. I will make you to understand each and every visual, when you have to use, what purpose you have to use, and I'll be helping you to create this complete report. Well, in just 30 days. That's something which we'll be doing in our course. Well, okay, you're talking about Power BI. Power BI can do anything for you. It can clean the data, it can visualize the data, it can report you everything. But just because it does everything for you, will you go and overburden the tool? Will you go and overburden the tool? Definitely not. Now what I'll be doing is, if you see the data that is being generating every year on year, there is a huge change that has happened. We all know megabyte. We all know gigabyte. If someone is asking what is your RAM size, what is your phone memory, we tell 64 GB, 128 GB. Well, if someone is asking what is your laptop, maybe you are talking about terabytes. But the data that is getting generated as of today is gigabyte. Well, as of 2020, the data that is getting generated across all the systems, all the company, all the projects is, I would say that 40 gigabyte. It is basically 40 followed by 10 followed by, I would say, I would say 21 zeros. Well, if this is a data that is getting generated in the current market, tell me one thing, who will store this much of data? Do you think I can store it in my system? Do you think I can store it in my personal machine? Do you think I can store it in my mobile? Do you think I can store it in my Excel sheet? The data that is getting generated is in gigabytes. When data is growing in such a huge manner, where can you store this record? That's a first question. Well, you cannot overburden a tool. I wouldn't say Power BI is not capable of handling this much of data, but I'm also stressing on one point. If a system can do everything, that doesn't mean that you can overburden it. Well, I will give a live example. Whenever India is chasing a target, everyone talks about Virat Kohli. We also call him as a chase master, right? We also call him as a chase master. Now, do you think the entire burden you can put it on Virat Kohli? Definitely not. The rest of the players also has to take the responsibility. Same way, just because Power BI is doing everything for you doesn't mean that you need to overburden the tool. No, you need to take care of the complexity that is involved. Well, if you see the year on year, the data is getting generated in a very high manner. The reason, right from after 2014-15, the system is getting lot of data. There is a huge growth that has happened in the system. The reason is the smartphone evolution, the internet, affordable price. Everyone is having a smartphone. On an average, every Indian spends around 6 to 7 hours with a smartphone. If you don't believe me, tomorrow morning 6 o'clock, the moment you wake up, start seeing how much time you are using. Have a stopwatch nearby. The moment you take the smartphone, just switch on the stopwatch, and by the end of the day, you see you would have minimum used 6 to 7 hours of your smartphone. In fact, you would have used 12 to 13 apps: Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, Flipkart, Netflix, Hotstar, YouTube. The way you would have generated the data, every day you're using at least 2 GB of your internal, the Airtel provider or a Geo provider's internet. Apart from that, you also have Wi-Fi. Every day you're spending much time on your smartphones. You're ordering a food, you're ordering a product in Amazon. So everything is a data. And it's no surprise that the data has touched around 40 gigabytes. Well, a lot of things have changed. 20 years back, in 2020, going back to 2000, if you see from 2000 to 2020, you know how much life has changed? Well, in 2000, there was no systems, no smartphones, maybe only landline phones. Now in 2020, what has happened? The entire world has changed. I still remember in 2020, in order to send money to someone, you have to stand in front of the bank for 4 5 hours. You need to wait in a long queue. You need to apply a half day leave, and you need to transact. I mean, you need to write a challan and you need to give it in the bank. Basically, people will know. I think most of you will know it. It's called money order. You go and order money for someone, and that money will reach the other person after 1 week. Well, what has happened in 2020? Well, you'll not believe me. I'm taking a live session for the last 30 35 minutes. I'm speaking, and you know what? I'm still using my smartphone. I'm sending money to 4 people. It's not affected my profession. I'm still speaking. My hands are still using my smartphone. I'm sending money in Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm. Do you think my profession is stopped? Did you get to know unless and until I've told you? That's the power of technology. 20 years back, you need to apply a half day leave for going to a bank, and now with just 5 seconds, I can send money to anyone with just by using internet and smartphone. That's the power of technology. When I talk about the power of technology, also remember that the data is a fuel here. The data is getting generated day by day, and this data is making your systems to run smooth. Well, that's the reason we are into this technology. Well, I'll ask you a question. Just think and answer. If you feel that the entire data analysis system is going to go down in future, well, there is a high possibility that can still happen. Provided, I'll give you two reasons. You analyze this and tell me whether this is going to happen or not. If the data analytics technology has to go down, the growth of the data also has to go down. If this graph has to go down, if this graph has to go down, there are two possibilities. People should stop using internet. People should stop using smartphones. People should stop using all the advanced technologies and go back to the oldest gold format. If all this can happen, definitely the graph can be brought down and the entire data analytics domain will go down. Well, the choice is yours. You think. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? People stop using internet, smartphones, all the advanced technologies and going back to a traditional or way of writing a letter to the friend? If that is the case, data analytics will also go down. Well, you think whether it's possible or not. Well, I'm talking about the data growth. Suddenly you may think, hey, what is this? You're talking about Power BI and suddenly you're talking about a problem. Well, don't worry. In order to reduce the burden to your Power BI, I am going to come up with one of the solution that is going and storing in the cloud. Well, I'll give a simple analogy. I have one laptop which is of 1 TB and the cost is 1 lakh. Now imagine my system is generating 10 TB of data. Now do you think I can store this 10 TB of data in my system? Definitely no. Definitely no. I cannot store this data in my system. So what I will do? Hey, one laptop, 1 TB. Why don't I buy 10 laptops? So 10 TB. The cost is 10 lakhs. Now, in order to store this 10 TB of data, I can use 10 systems. What is wrong? Well, you can use it, but who is going to maintain this 10 systems? You need to take 10 employees for your work. You need to make 10 people to sit in front of the system and you need to ask them to work. Well, if that is a case, you need to pay for 10 employees, and you should also think about paying salary, and you should also able to spend 10 lakhs. Well, there is one friend who's helping you. It's called cloud computing. Will this system say that, hey, why are you spending 10 lakhs for 10 terabyte? Why are you taking 10 employees for your managing your 10 systems? Well, you don't worry. You think about your business. You think about what profit you can make. You leave it the rest to me. I will take care of your data. I will take care of data. I will take care of completely in terms of security, in terms of data loss, in terms of backup, in state of systems. I will take everything. You just give me 3 lakhs. This is what one of the friend is saying to me. Well, don't worry. Let me take care of your data. You just need to give 3 lakhs to me. Well, I was very relieved. Hey, why I'm paying 10 lakhs for storing 10 terabyte? Why don't I give and one of the responsibility to cloud computing, which will reduce the burden? Well, that's why we have cloud computing, and we have 4 cloud computings which is currently in the market. I would say AWS is always on top, but Azure is the best for data analytical services. Well, if you want to store the data, they have a process. If you want to do the data cleaning, they have a service. If you want to visualize it, yes, they have it. So what we are doing it, we are moving to the cloud. Even though AWS is the best, but I would say Azure is also the best for data analysis computing. So we will be learning Microsoft Azure in this course. Well, we have learned Power BI. I wouldn't say there is a problem with Power BI, but Power BI is still the best. But there are small loopholes that if you put a heavy load on the Power BI, maybe the system can degrade its performance. Well, in order to save that, anyway, people are using more of internet and data. So obviously I have to use one cloud service, and that cloud service which we are going to learn in our course will be Azure. Remember, the Azure product is also a Microsoft's product. Well, that's one of the best cloud computing. Well, why we need cloud? Well, how much data you can store in your personal machine servers, how many people can manage, so it's all difficult. Well, if you go for cloud computing, you can store the data in unlimited manner, and it's very flexible and efficiency in handling the cloud. Well, as I talked about cloud, we're also going to implement some of the services in Azure. Now, why Azure? We'll be discussing, even though it's a second largest, but still a lot of good services we have in order to maintain your data growth. Well, that's the reason we are learning Azure. Well, this should answer your question. This should answer your question. For most of the data cleaning transformations, I'm data storage. I'm moving the burden out of Power BI and I'm doing it in Azure. Maybe I would say that we have a very beautiful service called Data Factory, which can do everything for us. From then we are connecting to our Power BI, and doing the we are doing the transformations, and we are doing the Power BI reports here. Well, this is connecting dots between Azure and Power BI. Well, I've learned Azure, I've learned Power BI. Is my job done? Definitely no. Why? Well, my Power BI reports, maybe it's very good for visualizing in your websites or as a tool, but I want to make it better. What I can do next is, can I create an app for it for my business? Well, whenever a new student comes in, or maybe whenever a new employee comes in, you have to go and make a manual entry in the data. You have to register his form. Well, Why can't I do it from app? Well, we'll build our own customized app by using the concept of Power Apps. By using Power Apps, you can try to integrate your system into your report and you can manage the both. Well, Power Apps is again a Microsoft's platform which is at the next level. Well, enough of doing Power BI reports. Now, why don't we create an app for them to make it interactive? You go and add some data from the UI screen, automatically it will go and update in the system. Well, that is something which we'll be doing in the Power Apps. Well, the reason why we have choose Power Apps is also a Microsoft product, and in fact, this is a technology that has been started in the year 2018. It is just 4 years old. First of all, Power BI itself is new, and on top of it, you're also learning Power BI apps. Now, in order to build an app, it's very difficult because you need to build it in a maybe Android or maybe in iOS. You need to create an app. Well, what we are doing here is we are creating our own app, and that app will be completely a business oriented app which you can use it for your purpose, and you can run it either on your phone or a tablet without any effort. No need to pay anyone, no need to take a license. Everything you can do it on the floor. We can create multiple apps. One, we can create a product app, one we can create a help desk, one we can create a service desk, one we can make sure we build it for customers. So all in all, we can build our own app. That's the purpose of Power Apps. You can just think like your normal mobile app which you're using in your smartphone. The same mobile app. Now we are going to build everything in Power Apps. And just to give a recap, it is just 4 years old. Just before the lockdown, it was started. 2018, 2019, it was the period where this tool was very much in starting phase. Now many companies have been using. Well, Power BI itself is 7 years old, whereas Power Apps is just 4 years old, where this is the right time for you to learn this tool and master the technologies because very less people have this knowledge. Well, that's make you to be a one of the impactful person in the market industry. Well, is this done? No. One more. Well, I need to keep on doing some works manually. Is there a process to automate it? I'll give a simple example again. Well, I had posted this YouTube live in the morning. Well, you know what I need to do? I have to create a YouTube link. I need to go to LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I need to go to all the platforms. I need to copy the link. I need to put the poster and I need to reach out to maximum people. That's a way where I can communicate to most of the people. Do you think I'll do manually? Do you think I have enough time to go and do manually? Opening all the 6 platforms, copy pasting the link, posting the visuals and putting it. Do you think I can do it? Well, the moment I create a link automatically to all the websites, all the social media platform, the link has to be sent automatically to all my customers. That is what is required as part of this requirement, which I can automate it. Well, by using Power Automate, you can automate every process which you want. You can send automatic emails, reminders, messages, links. You can forward it. You can get a live notification. Tomorrow morning, if there is a 6 o'clock class, 5:55, you'll be like getting a notification like an alarm clock. That's the automation. And future is all about automating certain process. How long you can do your manual work? Always try to be lazy. Only then you will try to find an easier process. With that, I would say that try to automate your business process. You can do some repetitive tasks in using automation, that is nothing but your Power Automate. Well, finally, I can say to connect all the dots by using your Power Platform, I repeat again, you can build your Power BI reports in Power BI. Well, don't worry, you still can reduce the burden of Power BI by using Azure, by using some of the services. And I would also say that by using Power Apps and Power Automate, you can take your business into the next level. And that's what you're connecting all the four dots. And I'm telling you once again, we are the first institute to organize this course because this is a very, very new tool. Just 2018-19, this Power Automate Power Platforms has been introduced. It's just 5 years old, and I would say none of them know in depth, but we will give a strong foundation in understanding these technologies. Well, that's what we are going to learn in this course. Well, enough of theory. Now what we will do? Do you have job opportunity for this? Well, most of them are learning Power BI nowadays, especially in this lockdown period, saying that it's very easy to learn, it's easy to crack. But the market is also nowadays is changing. Every organization is looking for multi-skilled people. Well, only with Power BI, it's very difficult to get a job. So if you're learning supporting tools, Power Platform tools like Azure also, it's like a cloud based, and Power Automate, Power Apps, if you're learning, all in all, I would say that you will get a very good opportunity in the market. Well, these are the openings which I see in the current market. And I would say that if you're learning these tools, your profile will be the high value profile. Well, some of the slides from now onwards, I'm posted at some of the frequent questions that we usually get in the class. The same thing we have prepared here, and we are going to discuss one by one. The first question which we get is, hey, what is a job opportunity in Power BI? Well, the numbers which are on the screen, which will speak the rest of the process. Well, the second question, who should go for this course? Well, I would say people who are already in some of the tools, you can still enhance your technology. But most importantly, I'll stress it on this, people who are like from no coding background, good opportunity for freshers and career gap. Now, this three, I would say very, very important. Well, if you want to get into IT without learning a single line of code, this is a right opportunity for you. Well, some of the freshers, once you pass out of your college, you go and ask some suggestion. Everyone says, hey, can you learn testing, do some testing course, do some Java course and all. I would say that why? There are 10,000 people who are waiting in the queue as a fresher to get into Java development. Java is like an evergreen. How many people will learn? Will learn these tools because no one knows it. It's a very good opportunity for you to get into a role because none of them know as a fresher. Well, freshers, let's assume that you start your package with 3.5 or 4 lakhs. Well, everyone learns Java. How many of them can get into a Java? If there are a limited seat of 100, do you think more than 100 the company can hire you? Definitely not. Well, the same 100 requirements is there for Power BI or Power Apps. If only 50 people are knowing, definitely all 50 will get job. That's why I would say that freshers, very, very good opportunity. And people who are from no coding background, this is a one more opportunity for you to get back on track, right? Comeback is always greater than setback. So this is a comeback tool. You can learn these tools and you can come back to IT anytime. And the most important part is career gap. Well, career gap, some of them would have had a gap in your career because of COVID pandemic, or maybe because of the technologies which are using, or maybe you're from a non-IT. Well, due to your education or your higher studies or your any government exams or even your personal problems, you would have had a gap in your career. Well, if you're learning any other technologies, it's highly difficult to match that experience here. But with this codeless technology, no coding background technology, I would say still you can master it within limited time. It's just like an app. So if I give you a new app to your smartphone, within 2 3 days you will be an expert. The same way the technology is like you can master it with a limited time. That's one of the speciality about these tools. Well, whoever wants to switch from non-technical to technical, coming from BPO admin, this will be a right opportunity for you. Okay. And I would also say that, hey, you can ask me this question. There are n number of YouTube channels. There are n number of documents which I can get it in Google. Why should I join KSR? Well, even if your grasping power is too good, that if you see it, you will try to capture it. But still, I would say is where to start, how to read, how to practice, how to take your career forward next is something which can come only from a mentoring purpose. You cannot learn everything by your own because it's a new technology for you. Well, in KSR, what we are going to do right from the basics like a SQL, we are breaking down into 15 hours of SQL, 40 hours of Power BI, 15 hours of Azure. We are again breaking the 30 hours for Power Apps and Power Automate. We are completely learning end to end. Well, 100 hours of BI technologies we are going to learn here. And we are going to build 3 real-time projects. You can go and do a research. Listen to this. It's a very good opportunity for you. You can go and research about this. SQL, Power BI, Azure, Power Automate, Power Apps. If any other institute other than KSR Data Vision is teaching, and if you bring to our notice, you will get a free seat here. Okay? How is the deal? You get a information to our institute, taking all these courses they are teaching at one place, you'll get a free seat here. Well, if I'm saying that confidently, I would say we are the one and only institute in India to cover all this at one place. And most importantly, to work with all this, you need an organization account. When I say an organization account, you have to have, let's say your name is Anand, Anand at tcs.com, Anand at hcl.com, Anand at infosys.com. That organization account is required. Well, here we are going to provide an organization account for each and every one whoever is joining with us. Usually in the most of the institutes, only the trainer or a mentor will have an account and he'll be teaching, you'll be only a listener. Well, I would say KSR Data Vision is not an institute, it's a startup where you'll be working under a mentor for the projects. For that, you'll be given an organization account, all the communication process, technologies, what we are doing, everything will be linked with your account. Account is mandatory to learn Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate. Well, that's what we are going to do here. Everyone who is joining with us will be given an organization account, and very proud and glad to say that none of the institutes are giving this account for a student, but we are giving. And most importantly, we are known for this. We are known for this. We try to see your technology background, education background, and we come up with unique projects for each and every one. We try to guide you by providing the good information about the interviews. We take mock interviews, we'll help you in resume preparations, and overall we will make you completely 100% ready for job. So that's the confidence I can give you right away. And most importantly, listen carefully. Everyone is coming from a gap, or everyone is like a fresher. You may be struggling to know, hey, how does IT works? I'm learning this tool. I'm stepping into IT. Will I survive? Will I be able to match their expectations? So all these confusions, don't worry. It's our responsibility. Every single thing what is required. So that's why I'm saying If you want to communicate anything, you have to communicate through us by using an email. You will learn how to send email as well. Well, if you want to talk to me, you can schedule a meeting with me on my calendar. Well, that's how you learn how to set up meeting as well. Not only technical part, as I said, it's an organization. That's what you're going to learn with us. Well, overall, I would say complete end to end, you can think as like one stop shop. You get into our institute and go out with a job. That's what we are going to do here. Well, with that, I would say after completing this course, you'll be able to master SQL, Power BI, Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate with the one cloud service, which is Azure. Well, I would say that overall in future, cloud is going to be a major role changing, and don't worry, we are going to teach you cloud as well. That is what is Azure. With that, I would say these are all the tools which you'll be learning with our institute. And more importantly, we have our own app. We have our own app, which is KSR Data Vision. Every class is going to be on the app. Like, it's not like something which you can get outside. It's like a OTT platform. We can get our course only within our app. That is our KSR Data Vision app. Well, you can log into this app and start seeing the courses. Most of the courses, not most, almost every course, first 5 free classes will be there. You can just go and see the first 5 classes and then decide about joining the course. You can go back and see our reviews in the system. You can go and visit our website. You'll get more clarity. And we also have some good videos that has been published in our channel. End-to-end projects, interview questions, mock interviews, everything we have published here. Just go and visit. If you have any questions, please do reach out to our number. Our team will help you. I would say come here, move out with a job. Well, not only this, I would also say this is our app. This is our app where we have all the courses. You can go to all the courses. You can see all the courses. You can see all the courses, whichever is there, and you can get registered. And we also have quiz which will check your knowledge from the most of the interview questions, online test, as well as some of the entry exams to your companies. Everything we have gathered and we have created quiz. You can go and check. It's free. Anyone can go and get registered and you can attend for free. Let's say I start this course. You'll be given some 40 questions, 60 minutes. It's free. You need not pay anything. You can just utilize our platform and you can check your knowledge. Well, most of the times you may learn everything, but you'll fail in the exam. So don't worry. We have multiple mocks that we have created. We will be taking mock interviews. We'll also be having quiz that you can answer it and you can practice for your knowledge check. Well, all this I would say you are getting in this platform, which is KSR Data Vision. Whichever course you want, you can get it and you'll be able to master it. Well, one thing I can give a strong hope is we provide a strong foundation to the technologies where even if you bring your 5th standard or a 6th standard student, you will still understand the way we teach. That's the power we have in terms of making you understand. In KSR, each and every one will be treated the same and each and every one will be made understood the topics which we are discussing. Well, with that, I will leave it for questions. If you have any questions, please do ask. I can answer all your questions. And there is a new batch that is going to start by this Thursday, and you can get registered to this app. Any other questions? We are going to start a new batch on 25th August, 7 p.m. IST time, 7 to 8:30, and you will be like going with Power BI. Okay, so this will be the start. And for the entire package of SQL, Power BI, Azure, Power Apps, Power Automate, you'll get all the 5 components for 27,000 is a fees. 27,000 is a fees. Well, if you pay it within 2-3 days, you'll get a discount and you can get it for 25k. 2k will be discount. All the sessions is going to be live sessions. All the sessions is going to be live sessions, which is going to be online. I'll be the mentor. You will be all listening to me from 7 to 8:30 right from Thursday. And in case you miss the class, don't worry, you'll be seeing the recordings. Suppose you miss the class by 1 or 2 days, you can go and always get the course details. Let's say, for example, you have missed one batch, was one class, you can go and always see the recordings.
Hope you are able to see my.
You can go and always see the recordings. Well, all the classes, it will be recorded. Every class, whatever the data set which I'm using, I'll be uploading here. You can go and use it. Scripts, whatever I'm using, it will be used it. Sample resumes, interview questions, documents, everything will be uploaded in the app. Even if you miss the class, nothing to worry. You can still go back and get this videos, the recordings, and you can see the recordings. Okay. Any other questions? It's going to be online class. Pre-recorded is also available, but this is going to be a live session. It is going to be since we are not back with the pandemic situation, still somewhere in the year end, a fourth wave is also expected. Keeping the health into consideration, we are not starting any offline batch. We are operating from Bangalore. You can visit our office in Bangalore. You can visit our office in Bangalore, but this batch is going to be an online batch. We do have morning timings like 6 to 7:30 and 8 to 9:30, but it's an ongoing batch. It's in the midway. So now only we have an evening batch as a new batch. If you want to join the morning batch, again, I would say that you have to go with only with recordings because it's a halfway mark. So, but for this evening batch, this is a specially requested batch for the people who are not able to join in the morning, and that's why we have started an evening batch. Morning batch is an ongoing batch. It will not be started immediately. It will take some time of 1.5 months to start a new batch. This batch is for evening. This batch is for evening. Morning batch is already an ongoing batch. For a morning batch, for the evening batch, I'll be the mentor. Any other questions? Okay. I would also say you one thing. We provide 100% job guarantee. Okay. Provided You listen our class, you do our assignments, you do our homeworks, you solve our real-time scenarios. We will help you in providing your mock interviews. We also have some tie-ups with certain organizations. We will try to push your profiles and we'll make sure that you get placed. Provided terms and conditions, you need to listen to me each and every day. If I give you any doubts, if I ask you any questions, you need to able to solve that. If you put your support, job, I am responsible. Okay, so with that we'll end the session. Thank you so much for giving your time on Sunday evening. You can reach out to our team. Our team will help you to get more clarity. But I would say, if you have any doubts or questions, there will be an open WhatsApp group that will be given to you. You can post all your questions 24/7. I'll be responding to your messages, and there are other mentors within KSR who will help you. Okay, so this is a complete overview of demo. Reach out to our team will help you. Yes, definitely only with recordings also you can learn, because I'll be the mentor. Right from I say good morning to till the bye, everything will be getting recorded, including the questions. So if you are not possible to join in the given time, you can still go with the recordings. The course fees is 27,000 for all the 5 tools, and you may get discount for 2K, and you have to pay 25 if you join it early. First come, first serve. Okay, so thank you all. We'll meet again in the live classes. Thank you so much.